In this video I'll show you the equipment I took with me the last time I spent a weekend down the woods. Right, what I'll do, I'll take it all out of the bag and I'll run through it. The only things I haven't got in the bag, which I had with me last time, was obviously the food. And the only other thing, what I'll have to show you, is the bed. I took like, it's quite hard to explain what it was. It was like a caravan bed. It was kind of like a stretcher bed. And when I got in the woods, what I had to do was put 2 poles through the sides of it, and that's how I made the bed. I'll get a picture of that and I'll put that up and show you that. But apart from that and the food, this is all the other stuff I took with me. I haven't quite packed it the same as what I did when I went down the woods, because obviously it was packed a bit better than this, but I'll put the equipment back in to show you what I took. Now hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. If I have, I'll just have to put it in the description of the video. Like I said, the only thing I haven't put in this is the food, because obviously I ate that when I was down the woods. And this was the actual bag I took with me. The only thing was, this is quite a small bag. What I had to do was tie that sleeping bag on the top, and the tarpaulin had to be tied to these 2 straps at the front. But I've now got a bigger bag. I'm not sure what litre this one is. It might be 30 litre. Someone bought me for my just as a gift, an 80 litre bag. It's absolutely massive, but it would mean now I could fit all my stuff in it easily, all be covered, and I'd have more room to put other things in if I needed to. Whereas this bag was absolute, it fitted, didn't it? Enough for a weekend and food. So that would be, we went like Friday afternoon, came back Sunday midday. And that bag fit everything in it, and the food, and some water as well. But what I had to do was, some of the other water I had to take down the night before and hide down there. I'll run through, this is the actual stuff I took with me. So I'll just run through it. The sleeping bag, which you've seen before, this is just a cheap £8 non-branded sleeping bag. That done the job. I'll tell you what I did do to make sure I wasn't cold, which I've actually forgotten, like I said, to put in this. I had a hat, like a beanie hat, and I wore that at night, and I tell you what, I wasn't cold at all. It wasn't particularly cold anyway, but just to be on the safe side, I took a beanie hat and wore that. It wasn't cold. The camouflage tarp, and that was put over above us. The cutting tools I took. Now I learnt a lesson here, because this was weird. Axe. That's it, I can get it in the frame. My small Wilkinson's old axe. My Mora knife. My Condor bushcraft knife. And a folding saw. I know word of a lie, we spent the entire weekend down there. We used the axe for hammering in some stakes Didn't cut anything with it at all. More knife, I'll probably cut about 2 things with it, maybe shave some sticks. Same with that. And the thing I used more than anything at all was the folding saw. That was constantly in use nearly the whole weekend, cutting wood and everything. We were cutting small dead sticks. I say small dead sticks, you know, still about that. Not that fat. Maybe bigger, some bits was bigger. Maybe as big as your wrist. They was dead, and that's what we was feeding our fire with. Didn't really need to split anything at all. So that was weird. I used that saw more than anything. Our other cutting tool was my German army knife, what Arthur gave me. That was used quite a bit, and the saw on that was used a lot as well. So that was quite surprising. I thought I'd use the knives more. I suppose it all depends what you're doing, but I didn't really use the knife much at all. Toilet roll, for the obvious reasons. Supposed to go with the toilet roll, alcohol, hand wash. Like I said, I hope I haven't forgotten anything, but I'm 99% sure this was all the stuff I took. If I do, like I said, I'll put it in the description, or I'll just tell you. I took with me one of these. It's like a battery pack. You charge it up, take it with you, and you can plug your phone in and charge your phone a bit if need be. I did take 2 phones, and they did last the entire weekend. That was just in case anything happened or anyone needs to get hold of you. Vital, good idea to take a phone. You never know what's going to happen. Even if you're 10 minutes away, take a phone. Well, in this, and that would go with a small bottle of maths, a Trangia cooker, and my homemade stand that went with it. We did have a fire going when we was down there. We constantly the whole time had a Dakota fire pit, but we took these things just in case, you never know. Actually, I did use that a bit. I think there was one morning where we just wanted to get a cup of coffee and cook our food quickly without having to do the fire. So I used that, and it was Daz, Mickey O'Ryu, who I went with, and he had a nice, really decent kind of Trangia stove, little mini one, really good. So worth taking stuff like that even if you're going to have a fire. Obviously I do the YouTube videos. I didn't take a big tripod, but I took this small Gorilla Pod thing that supposedly wrapped around loads of things, and this little metal tripod. And what I did, I made a big tripod out of wood, out of sticks, so just 3 sticks tied at the top like a tripod, and I just put that on top, or the Gorilla Pod on top, and taped it on, and then you can have a bit of a swivel on the top then. Obviously if you're not into doing videos or filming or pictures, you don't need to take stuff like that. And obviously the camera and the camera bag with it. I can't show you the camera because I'm being filmed on it now. In this little bag I had just a few little weird things. That's a buddy burner and a cardboard candle. Some solid fuel blocks. These are all just in case things. A candle. And one of these like little, I don't know what you call it. You stick a stick through it and it makes a little fork for toasting stuff. You probably make one of them easily. And the funny thing is I used that quite a lot because as part of the food I took a big chorizo sausage and hot dogs. So some of them I was cooking on that, just over the fire, nice and easy, nice and quick. To have my drinks, I took this with me, which is my little stainless steel cup with a homemade lid. That makes boiling things much quicker. And that I had full of water, but also we took about 5 litres, or I'd hid 5 litres down there. And I think I might have took this and a 1 litre bottle with me. And that was for 2 of us. It's where we went, there's no chance of water at all. Or not enough to really do you. So that was for making drinks and stuff. And that had water in. I took some fire lighting stuff. But I'll be honest with you, if I can get away with using a lighter I will, and I did. But in here would be, there's like a ferro rod, matches, lighter, and like a petrol lighter, flip top petrol lighter. But like I said, I used a lighter, just lit it, nice and easy. Took some gloves with me. These are like the grippy gloves. That was just for whatever, moving stuff, picking up dirty old logs or whatever. Because I knew if I got my hands really black and filthy, I may not be able to get it off properly. Because the only thing I had to wash my hands with was this. Because I didn't really want to waste the water. That's partly why I took the gloves. If I could wash my hands easy enough before I cooked food, then I wouldn't bother the gloves. But knowing that water was going to have to be looked after, bought gloves. I took a few torches, a charge up torch, whatever you call them, wind up torch. Needs a bit of charging. Took this one. And I did also take another wind up torch with like a winding handle on the side. String and paracord. Now I took tons of this. This isn't all of it, to be honest. I took way more. This bag was completely full to the brim of light rope, string, paracord, etc. And I used every bit I had. I used nearly the entire lot. Because like I said, I had to make my bed, and it used a hell of a lot of cordage making it. But next time I go, hopefully I'm going to get a hammock. Because one thing I don't like doing is in the summer, I don't like sleeping on the floor. Because of ticks and stuff like that. In the winter, that wouldn't bother me. But not in the summer. I don't want to get ticks or anything. So I like to sleep off the ground. And like I said, I built that raised bed. Next time I'm going to get a hammock. I did take a sharpening stone. Didn't use it at all. Duct tape. I used that for a few things. Can't remember precisely what. But I remember definitely. Oh, I used it to put the tripod onto the bigger tripod. There's a few other things I used it for as well. First aid kit, obviously vital. You never know if you're going to be messing around with knives, saws or anything. In here it's just the usual stuff. I did put paracetamols in it as well. You know, bandages, tape, plasters, the homemade tick tool. You see that? Couple of little books, just for the sake. I thought they're small enough to take, I might as well. And that's Food for Free and the good old SAS Survival Handbook. To just something to read if you wanted to. To be honest, I never looked at them, but they're there if you wanted to. I've told you about these before. These are for using in like a coffee machine, and it's milk. I took a few of those so I could pierce them open and use the milk for drinks. And then got this, the mess tin with a homemade lid again. In here this is a load of like drinking stuff. So I've got powdered milk, spoons, like a half fork spoon thing, 3-in-1 coffee, even though I can't stand sugar, but it is what it is, and hot chocolate to drink. I did have a few of the coffees, didn't particularly like it, but it's coffee's coffee, a drink's a drink. I don't know why I didn't take tea bags with me, or just a bag of coffee, but I thought these was ready done, they're easy, you know, it's ready done, it's 3-in-1, you know. If I was going to take tea bags, I'd take tea bags, milk and whatever else. But I thought all I need to do is add water to that, that's why I took that. And then the mess tin is what I did nearly all the cooking in. Now like I said, I'm 99% sure this is all of it. It seems there isn't much here, but I'm sure this is what I took. Except for the beanie hat and the actual bed. Obviously the clothes I wore, 99% sure that's it. As for food, I can pretty much tell you what I took with me. I took a chorizo sausage, not a tin of hot dogs, but like a flat packet of hot dogs. Thing again, because I got this small bag, I was trying to pack it all in flat. So I had a tin of, no not a tin, a flat pack of hot dogs, a chorizo sausage, I think I had 3 packets, flat packets of rice, which is microwave rice, but it does say on it, it could be stir fried. So 3 of those, I think it was yellow rice, whatever, I'm not sure, basmati rice or something. I did take some of these biscuits, like Velveeta biscuits or something. I took 3 or 4 packets of those. I took packets of like copper soups, packet of peanuts, dry roasted peanuts, and a packet of, you know, tortilla wraps. So what I could do is cook the hot dogs, wrap them in the wraps, eat them really quick and easy. Takes no time at all to make those. Can't remember if there's anything else I took with me like that. But this is basically the equipment that I took with me. We had a good time. Nothing was too hard or anything. Yeah, so. Well, if you haven't seen my videos before and this is the first time you've seen one, have a look on my channel for other videos like this. And cheers for watching, and I'll see you later.